What is going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another video. Today we are checking out Anderson Robotics from the Exploring series. Now, I don't know if this is the last group of interest we have to cover. I can't remember. I have no more in my watch later, so I think this might be the last group of interest for SCP that we haven't actually covered. Obviously, we did get a little bit of Anderson Robotics in Confinement episode 3, so if you haven't seen that, feel free to go and check it out. In Confinement episode 3, there was a robot from Anderson Robotics that wanted to take over Connor's body, right? So yeah, Anderson Robotics obviously make anomalous robots, I guess. I don't know what they make. But that robot was definitely pretty scary, I'm not gonna lie to you. And also there was a kind of a theme that he was actually a human before, and they put a human consciousness in a robot, and then they took him out again and they put him in another body in Confinement. But yeah, I'm not too sure if that is exactly what goes on at Anderson Robotics. Definitely quite scary, man. Robotics kind of scares me a little bit. I'm not like one of those doomsday AI guys, like AI is gonna kill us, you know, like Elon Musk and Stephen Hawking was and all those guys, but they're very smart people, so maybe they have a point. Personally, I just don't think that's the case, and we're so far from making AI that's capable of that. Yeah, I'm not too scared, but the robots in like iRobot. When I watched iRobot as a kid, that film scared me. You know what I mean? I think, was that with Will Smith? Yeah, that film's kind of scary. The robots trying to kill you, yeah. No thank you, no thank you. Plus the robots were creepy in that film. If you are new, be sure to hit that subscribe button and click the bell so you're notified every time I upload. I upload a new video every single day. So if you never want to miss a video, make sure you subscribe and hit those notifications. Also, I stream on Twitch a few days a week. We do playthroughs, you know, I talk to the chat. Sometimes you watch videos, so be sure, if you're interested in that, to go and follow me on Twitch, link in the description. And if you want to be updated on all things with the YouTube and the Twitch and just anything coming up new and all that good stuff, feel free to go and join our Discord. You can talk to me, you can talk to other subscribers, man. It's a nice little community we have there. So yeah, if I'm not there, you know, there's a ton of mods that can help you out and stuff like that as well. So yeah, feel free to go and join our Discord. And yeah, let's get into this video.
Anderson Robotics. Famed science fiction author Arthur C. Clarke once wrote that any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. This concept, of course, runs through many SCP articles, as there are plenty of highly advanced pieces of tech that the Foundation considers to be anomalous. Anderson Robotics is a group of interest in the SCP universe that creates and sells such things, known as paratech, or paranormal technology.
What I need to know is, when did he write this? What was his name? 1 second. Arthur C. Clarke. So Arthur C. Clarke died in 2008. You know, rip. I mean, so he wrote it somewhere between 1946. So he wrote it in the mid 1900s, right? So mid 20th century, he probably wrote that. So I mean, there was a lot of new tech coming into being, probably, or soon to come, and I guess from that generation, he was born just after World War One, from what I've just researched. It's probably quite alien to him. I mean, but then I guess if you have robots and stuff, I guess maybe magic and technology would be indistinguishable to certain people, I guess.
There are a handful of such groups, but Anderson Robotics stands apart in two ways: by specializing in, as you might have guessed, robotics, and by combining both magic and technology. They are not a massive group of interest, both in terms of their membership number as well as their number of articles on the site, but there are certainly a handful of interesting SCPs. Anderson Robotics was founded in 1994 in Portland, Oregon, by Vincent Anderson and Albert Frostman. Anderson had begun delving into robotics after a trip to Europe led him to finding some blueprints created by a French scientist. This scientist, Dr. Durand, was partly responsible for creating a number of anomalous weaponry.
Yo, this is a creepy picture, man. Don't blame me for getting scared. This guy's creepy. You don't want to see this guy. Nah. For a minute, I thought they were going to say Nazi scientist. It would make perfect sense, wouldn't it?
Used in a military engagement in 1917, detailed in SCP-186. Anderson's first robot was a small silver orb that walked on 4 legs, capable of recording video and audio, with a limited artificial intelligence inside of it. When asked by Frostman if he built it, Anderson instead claims that he brought it to life, creating the intelligence to pilot it, in the same sense that a soul pilots a human body. The Foundation describes both Anderson and Frostman as type blue individuals, a term borrowed from the GOC, signifying a thaumaturgist, or one who practices magic. It would seem then that Anderson Robotics combines both technology and magic into one anomalous fusion, and it's clear that they are far more advanced than most groups of interest.
Obviously. Am I the only one that gets really creeped out when they see markings on foreheads? Just me? Cool. Yeah, this reminds me of Lorgar from Warhammer and any sort of witchcraft in anything. They always got marks on their forehead, bro.
In the decades since their start, Anderson Robotics have continued to remain rather inconspicuous, avoiding widespread notoriety.
Would make sense.
They are believed to have roughly 200 employees worldwide, and deal with mostly elite customers, particularly with Marshall, Carter, and Dark.
Probably. Yep.
Surprisingly, they also do business with the Global Occult Coalition,
would make sense.
A group normally adverse to the spread of anomalies.
Hey man, they want the best
tech. The GOC seem to be okay with Anderson's secrecy, however, and they clearly must benefit from the advanced technology.
Of course they do.
The SCP Foundation wouldn't discover Anderson Robotics until 2007, at which point they began pursuing the group in order to shut them down, as they represented a risk to normalcy. Why the SCP Foundation would be so interested in shutting down Anderson Robotics, while the GOC are not, is an open question. Shutting down the company would prove to be far more difficult than the Foundation predicted, however, as the company utilizes both their technology and their access to magic to avoid capture. Their facilities appear to be capable of anomalously transporting across the world at a moment's notice, and they are also aided by Marshall, Carter, and Dark, the GOC, and a branch of the Church of the Broken God. Anderson Robotics mostly operates out of the Pacific Northwest of the United States, however.
So they're just aided by everyone except the SCP Foundation. The SCP Foundation just decide we're going to 1v the rest, you know? I mean, I guess they have the Sarkic cults. They could ask for help, you know what I mean?
And MTF Gamma 13, Asimov's Lawbringers, are assigned to monitor and investigate both the company itself and any of its products that they can recover. So far, there have only been a handful of products recovered by the Foundation, but they do have information on more. Anderson's original orb robot is called the Amur Series Recon Drone, capable of climbing sheer surfaces and possessing an active camouflage system. The Aplamato Series Facility Defense Unit is an automated turret with thermal imaging capabilities and 4 barrels, capable of self-repair. The Kestrel Series Domestic Utility Unit is a robot with no combat potential, resembling a large black cube with a number of extendable arms, capable of cooking, cleaning, childcare, gardening, pet grooming, and so on.
Hey, I'd take that.
The Merlin Series aerial drone resembles a small jet plane, is fitted with both video recording capabilities and firearms, and is invisible to most forms of video recording. The Soccer Series androids are unique in that they are not sold by the company, but only utilized in-house. These androids are equipped with a skin resembling human flesh, allowing them to impersonate specific humans, including SCP Foundation personnel and a member of the U.S. Congress.
Now it gets bad.
We have more information on some of the other products sold by Anderson Robotics, as they have been recovered by the Foundation. The first one discovered by them, leading to the Foundation learning about the company, is SCP-1360, a pshud, or Peregrine Series Humanoid Utility Droid. 1360 is more or less what you'd expect when you think of an android. Its body consists of a polycarbonate casing over an aluminum frame, with a skin covering made up of an unknown black fabric. This fabric is lighter and stronger than Kevlar, and can repair itself of any damage by reweaving and fusing itself back together. Samples taken of the fabric disintegrate after 48 hours.
Wow.
1360's fingertips can be unscrewed, revealing various tools, such as a needle and thread, made of the same material as the fabric.
You gotta say Anderson Robotics done that on purpose so people can rip off their material.
A roll of patches of the same material, a pair of miniature scissors, and a steel scalpel. 1360 is incapable of speech, but can read and write English, Japanese, and German fluently. It claims to feel pain despite its lack of a nervous system, but it blames this on it missing a necessary component, feeling incomplete without it. The The Foundation found a flash drive inside of one of its fingers, which contained a document addressed to someone named James. The document is from Anderson, and explains that this unit, number 31, comes equipped with a pre-programmed personality named Hector. It's had its vocal capabilities removed by request, and was modified with both advanced firearms and unarmed combat skill sets. It would seem that James is a frequent customer of Anderson Robotics, possessing multiple droids, but Unit 31 is different from the others, as it contains a highly adaptive artificial intelligence that will evolve over time. If malfunctioning, James was to lock the flash drive into one of the unit's fingers and speak a return phrase, causing the droid to automatically return to Anderson Robotics. Obviously, this did not occur, but the unit was obsessed with escaping containment and returning to Anderson. After its fourth escape attempt, a note was found in its cell, reading, "Return signal terminated. We're better off keeping you where you are. We're sorry, number 31. Anderson." Since then, 1360 has stopped communicating entirely, along with any resistance to the Foundation, making it quite reminiscent of SCP-1316.
The cat.
SCP-2806 is a collection of prototypes of the Gyrfalcon series prosthetics, a line offered almost exclusively to customers of Marshall, Carter, and Dark. 2806 consists of 7 prosthetic arms, 6 eyes, 3 legs, and 4 ears. All instances are constructed of the same materials as SCP-1360. When placed near the site of a missing body part on an individual, a command word must be spoken, which so far has been integrate, at which point a series of wires will extend from the prosthetic, joining it to the individual. These wires will then connect with the individual's nervous system, causing the prosthetic to become like a natural part of the body. This is aided by the secretion of a chemical compound that causes skin to grow over the new body part. Or in the case of the eyes, the iris will change to the host's natural eye color.
That's pretty cool.
Unfortunately, all of these prototypes possess various faults, making them either inconvenient or outright dangerous to use. One arm would deliver a constant gripping force of 2,000 newtons, which is both inconvenient and dangerous. Another arm would always remain at a
better not use that arm to, never mind.
Temperature of 50 degrees Celsius, or 122 degrees Fahrenheit. One of the eyes would magnify everything by 100 times, while another eye would point in the opposite direction of the host's natural eye. One of the legs would perform all actions at 3 times the typical speed.
That's fucked up.
While one of the ears would amplify all sounds to 115 decibels.
And that's also fucked up.
Recovered documents with the prosthetics reveal that they are largely the creation of Albert Frostman, who mainly goes by the name of Phineas.
I thought they were going to call him Frosty.
Apparently, Phineas was taking longer than expected to finish the series, due to the complications involved in integrating the prosthetics with the human nervous system. While the business side of Anderson Robotics wanted him to hurry up and finish so that they could fulfill some contracts, Phineas wanted to make sure they were ready. Phineas later wrote an email to Anderson saying that he was stepping down from the project, mainly over concerns that their customers would become obsessed with augmenting themselves and others into superhumans.
That's the fear that people have with stuff like this, because eventually people will make prosthetics so good that they'll be better than human parts. Well, I'm assuming very soon we'll have fully functional prosthetics, right? Like, probably in the next 10, 20 years, where you could have a replacement leg, stuff like that. I mean, they're already regrowing stuff like ears and shit like that, man. Heart transplants, artificial hearts already a thing. So when it comes to legs and stuff, I think eventually they will make them pretty good that they can integrate. And same with eyes. And eventually it might just become like plastic surgery when the prosthetic eyes become better than regular eyes. People might just decide, you know what? Plastic surgery. Boom. Now I can see way better. Now I can hear way better. You know what I mean? I think that might be a thing eventually.
Anderson, however, was not concerned, as he believed the project had more potential to heal than to harm. But ultimately, it wasn't their position to judge what their customers did with their products. Others apparently finished the products, and business continued. The Foundation have so far recovered 50 individuals with Gyrfalcon prosthetics, a number of them possessing superhuman features. Another good example of the blending of technology and magic is SCP-3960, a set of hobby personal androids. These are small robots of the same make as SCP-1360, and are assembled through locking pieces, and then animated through a thaumaturgic ritual. A circle of table salt is placed around the robot, along with 5 pieces of paper, each containing a desired personality trait. The assembler then chants the Latin phrase for life to a friend, and the android will come to life, featuring an artificial intelligence modeled off of the personality traits.
That's
the hobby
creepy.
personal android will follow their creator and remain completely loyal, assisting them in various tasks from
cool.
playing games to solving mathematical equations.
What's the catch?
Each of the androids that the Foundation has is capable of speech, and showcases a rather high degree of intelligence. Recovered emails from Anderson Robotics shows that these prototypes were tested with some employees' children, with one being made to play soccer, and another to play board games and run Dungeons & Dragons games. First impressions were very positive, but it seems that the androids became far too attached to their creators, constantly watching them or sleeping in their beds.
Oh, shit.
It's implied that Anderson Robotics decided to scrap the project and sell everything related to it to Dr. Wondertainment.
Of course, of course.
Anderson Robotics doesn't just
When
deal
the kids are involved, of course, it's Dr. Wondertainment, isn't it? You know?
in droids, however, as they are at the overall front of artificial intelligence research as well. SCP-2906 is a product they refer to as the Nankin Computer Repair System, but at first appearance is simply a USB flash drive. When inserted into a computer, an artificial intelligence will be generated that refers to itself as Ian.
Ah, Ian.
Ian will automatically begin to repair any software problems with the computer, such as registry errors, handling any malicious software, and cleaning any junk files. If speakers are connected, Ian is capable of vocalizing, and can also use a connected microphone and camera to hear and see its surroundings.
Like Jarvis from Iron Man. Ian was in confinement, right? That was the software on the computer.
Once the flash drive is removed, this AI is completely removed along with it.
Ah, that's cool, I guess.
An interview is of course done with Ian, showing that it has some memory problems, stating its creation date as 1990, before correcting itself to 2012. When asked to draw a picture in a paint program of how it sees itself, it begins to outline a face before crashing. A number of attempts at this process eventually allowed the Foundation to piece together an image of a young Asian male. At one point, a folder filled with various images and video files was found on the Foundation testing computer, although Ian has no idea how it came to be there. Each of the files is dated, with the earliest being 1992, as an audio file of a man and woman singing Happy Birthday to someone named Ian. Further files show someone playing with a dog, a picture of a Little League baseball team featuring a young boy of Asian descent, a video of someone passing a driving test, and a photograph of a young male matching the image 2906 drew with a prom date. It seems in 2009 the individual was accepted into Oregon State University, but a first-person video file from 2012 shows someone riding a motorcycle in the rain, and it cuts off just as they turn to see oncoming headlights.
So he got hit by a car and then he was dying, so Anderson Robotics turned him into an AI. That's fucked up.
Clearly, Ian's mind was taken by Anderson Robotics and converted through a ritual into an artificial intelligence,
Church the
with
broken
Ian
god
only
on that.
remembering distant fragments of his previous life. The final addendum on the article is a note written by an Anderson employee that states that these are going to sell like hotcakes, and that they are already stockpiling 20 more of the raw material, implying that Anderson Robotics is taking in plenty more people, such as Ian.
That's fucked up.
Another example of Anderson Robotics' work with AI is SCP-2987, an external hard drive capable of holding any file or files that make up an artificial intelligence, regardless of size. Using the computer then, an individual can then select those files and convert them into a form of currency,
Convert soul.
accepted by any entity that would normally require a human soul. Once the AI is accepted and taken as part of whatever bargain or ritual you're performing, The hard drive is ready to accept another artificial intelligence. This item seems to be of particular interest to Marshall, Carter, and Dark,
Of course.
likely created with their customers in mind. SCP-2987, the copy of the hard drive that the Foundation possesses, contains an AI that was created specifically for the purpose of being sacrificed to an extra-dimensional entity. Interestingly, it was actually the AI itself that managed to get an email out to the Foundation, leading them to raid an Anderson Robotics office and recover 2987. The AI, going by the name Alan, wished to avoid destruction at the hands of some entity, and hopes to help convince and save other AIs such as itself.
Of course it does.
Despite its cooperation, however, the Foundation failed to recover any other AIs, and 2987 was put away for storage, until it was stolen by agents working for MC&D. The Foundation was able to recover the Allen AI through a digital transfer, as well as another copy of 2987.
He lives.
And they are now being used for the further development of artificial intelligences at the SCP Foundation. Other Anderson Robotics products also involve blending technology, magic, and other supernatural concepts, including putting deceased individuals' souls back into robotic bodies,
like what?
And an exoskeleton capable of holding an unlimited amount of human brains inside of it that can each pilot the exoskeleton. Vincent Anderson himself is apparently contained by the Foundation as SCP-3860, although he's heavily augmented himself with both technology and magic.
That would make sense. I hope that's not SCP-035.
On the surface, Anderson Robotics is admittedly slightly out of place among much of the SCP universe, as it relies heavily on straight science fiction. Looking past that, however, and getting into the details of the magic rituals and connections to extra-dimensional entities and anomalous phenomena, gives Anderson Robotics a very interesting spin. While they are a relatively young group of interest, there is a lot of potential for new SCPs and tales that can blend both technology and magic.
That's true. You're going to start a robotics company, Phineas frowned. You think you have the business chops for that sort of thing? Actually, I was hoping we'd start a robotics company. I have a lot of other designs in mind, and you've always been so good with that. The kind of incantations we need. We'd totally be able to hit the ground running. Phineas furrowed his brow. He gently returned Benny to the briefcase and stared at the small droid pensively for several moments. I'll let you name the products. Phineas gave a devilish smile in return. Ties that bind. I guess that's how they met the first time and wanted to start it. That's the end of Anderson Robotics, ladies and gentlemen. Could be the end of groups of interest. I don't think I'm missing any. But yeah, definitely interesting. I mean, there is, obviously, I was right about the whole Ian situation. They take people and put their brains in AI. And there's obviously a whole lot of mystery that also goes on. I mean, the prosthetics don't work, which I don't guess makes no sense. But I guess it kind of does make sense because Phineas left it. Anderson Robotics definitely kind of fucked up. The SCP Foundation definitely seems to have a vendetta against them more than the others, since they want to shut them down. Although the GOC and MC&D, all those guys get help, and the Church of the Broken God, obviously, man, anything to do with AI and machinery, they're involved, you know what I mean? They love that shit, so yeah. Man, that's the end of this video, man. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I'll see you all next time.